का जो टॉपिक है, that is career opportunities in US. It's for a very targeted audience, career opportunity for nurses in US, and it's for a targeted audience. And ये एक special request पे हमने organize किया है, क्योंकि एक जो इस विषय पे बहुत सारी सवाल हैं लोगों के, बहुत सारे हमारे को WhatsApp चैनल पे इंक्वायरीज आई थी, बिकॉज जो ये सब्जेक्ट है इसके ऊपर पूरी क्लैरिटी नहीं थी, एंड ऑल्सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ एजेंट्स विच आर वर्किंग इन दिस फील्ड, एंड ये नहीं पता चलता कि वेदर द ऑफर इज जेन्युइन और नॉट. सो टुडे वी हैव विद अस Commander TJ Baring, who is an expert in this field. He is a healthcare company in US. He is a visiting faculty in Laverne School for Laverne College for TJ, which is the course?
Masters of Health Administration, MHA.
Right. So he is the visiting faculty for Masters of Health Administration course in the University of Laverne. He is a serial entrepreneur. He has his business interests in India as well as in US, and he is a US citizen. So हमने Commander TJ Baring को request किया because he is already in this field, and once we mentioned this to Commander TJ Baring, he was quite excited that at this moment only, he said this was the right moment to conduct this talk because of the excellent opportunities which are existing there. So we'll talk about all that in this. Just before that, I will just give a brief introduction about Commander Baring. He's an ex-NDA, National Defense Academy, 77th course. He left. He has done very prestigious appointments as instructor in National Defense Academy, and then he left quite early and he moved to US, and very founded some businesses, and he was in travel business, then he has real estate business, and he has a real estate business in India also, a serial entrepreneur, and he's, as I have already told you, that he's a visiting faculty in Laverne University for Master of Health Administration course. And as far as Value Talks is concerned, Value Talks is, I told you, it is a advisory platform, and हमारे पास हमारे panel में बहुत सारे experts हैं from various fields, field of construction, field stock market, career, HR, study abroad, and ये सब जो experts हैं जिनको हम एक platform पे लेके आए हैं, वो उसका जो main aim था वो यही था कि लोगों को एक genuine advice मिले. And this Value Talks has been founded by 3 Army officers, that is includes me, Captain Vipul Choudhary, and Major Jayesh Varma. So we'll come straight to the talk. TJ, welcome to the show, and I'm glad that you could take out some time. I believe there was some issue at your end, so थोड़ा सा delay हो गया. So TJ, before we start, I was just going through the data which is there. The nurses to patient ratio in India is quite bad. I mean, 2 per 1,000. This is what the health minister presented, and the nurses to patient ratio in US is around 10 to 11 per 1,000. So is it not better for nurses to be, are they not more in demand in India than in US?
Well, I think the nursing demand really is global. It's what we find in India or US or any other country. Those situations typically are almost similar around the world. And
Okay.
it is the acute shortage in profession per se, which is the reason that there are emerging opportunities in different parts of the world. And I think one of the components we wanted to discuss was how do you kind of increase your knowledge, and then you always have an option of going back to India and practicing in India also. Now, I do know that once you have a RN from US with a US experience, you are accepted worldwide. In fact, Cleveland Clinic has basically they've also opened up in Abu Dhabi. There are many other US hospitals around the world that these nurses are also accepted over there. Not to mention that once you look at the other parts of Europe, especially the interior Europe, you also not only have to learn and clear the license exam, but also you have to learn the local language. Fortunately, in the US, the English is the main language, so that's another place why US is one of the choices which exists. However, I agree with you that there is also a need to expand this in India as well, and that is why, um, if you recollect, when you had met Dr. Mary Lopez, who's Dean of College of Graduate Nursing at Western University, she had traveled with me to India 3 times already, and we are setting up certification programs for nursing in India. And part of that, we also had signed up MOU with Baba Farid University
I
of
know
Health.
that was a newspaper. Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So yes, that issue is being targeted by all the universities that have the expertise, and idea is to train more and more nurses for future.
So TJ, I mean, training is one part, but before that, how is USA for? I mean, how is it USA for Indian nurses? I mean, uh, culturally, professionally, is there a bias or something? Or
Well, I don't think there is a bias per se. Mostly the bias is for the lack of knowledge. It's that's where people are not comfortable if they find that you really are not kind of professional or proficient at what you're doing. Other than that, I don't think we see bias over here. I mean, I've lived in this country for almost 25 years. I don't think that kind of bias exists over here culturally. Uh, the Indian nurses are well accepted. End of the day, what patient really needs is a good care, and if the standard of care exists, then one should not worry about anything else. I think the professional growth should be the one utmost aim for one in life.
so, TJ, I would limit this talk and keep it very short and crisp to the uh, you know this is with reference to what we spoke. When I told you that there is a request for conducting this talk for nurses, and you said this is the right time to conduct this talk as there are some opportunities. So I will come to that straight away. But before that, can you just uh, in brief, can you explain? I'm sure a lot of our audience, they already must be knowing the process, but can the nurses here straight away go there, or they have to undergo uh, they have to undergo that RN this thing certification registration? What is the process? Like there is a process for doctors; they have to clear USMLE and etc. Step one, step two. Then, so what about nurses?
So, I'll cover a couple of critical components that are required when somebody with a nursing degree would like to pursue a nursing job in US. Uh, so they have to basically deal with an NCLEX, which is a nurse certification license exam, which essentially is the exam they have to clear before they can apply for license in any states in the US. Now, the just like India, the nursing councils are state-wise, so you have to apply for one state, and then either you reciprocate with the state, or there is something called compact state, which means one state will give you access to about 20 odd states. You can go and practice. Now, that NCLEX is absolutely required for a nurse to get license, and license as registered nurse. Now, this is where people have to understand that, the once I'm talking about the US graduates, nursing graduates, when they clear the nursing uh, degree exam, like back in India, if you cleared a BSc nursing, all you have to do is take your BSc nursing degree and then apply into one of the local state nursing council like Punjab PNRC, and you would get registered without writing a separate license exam. In US, a degree does not guarantee you a license. All it guarantees you is just a degree. You are a degree holder. But you have to get a license, you have to clear the NCLEX exam and thereafter apply to the Board of Nursing of the state that you are trying to get license at. So that is one distinct difference between US
What is
and
the
India.
full form of this exam?
And nurse certification license examination.
Okay. NCLEX.
So
Okay.
NCLEX. So typically that is what is required for somebody to get to get registered as a what is called RN or registered nurse. And without that, you cannot think of practicing as an RN or registered nurse. So that is one component which is essentially required. And then, of course, moving forward, uh, you also have to worry about, how will you get an authorization to work in US? Because just having a nurse certification exam doesn't automatically means you can get a work authorization in US. Now, if you are a green card or a US citizen, then it's another story. But if you are somebody who's not a citizen or green card, then obviously you have to deal with the work authorizations as well. And that's where either a hospital can sponsor you on H1, which is again a work visa.
Who
That
will
they can,
sponsor?
the health companies or the hospitals, they can sponsor you on H1.
So
That's one
what
option.
you're saying essentially is that once the nurses from India, they have to first clear NCLEX, and after clearing NCLEX, then they have to apply to the hospitals, and depending upon the if they are selected, then they go there, and hospitals sponsors the visa. That's what you are mentioning,
That would be one of the route.
right?
But the problem there is that they have to apply for at least a managerial position.
Okay.
If they apply as just standard ambulatory care nurses, or even despite clearing the NCLEX exam, uh, it doesn't mean they qualify for H1, because one of the requirements of H1 is that you have to have an undergraduate degree. That means the job that you're doing has to require an undergraduate degree, which mostly is the managerial jobs. Now, in US, to register as RN, you do not have to have an undergraduate degree. You can also register after clearing what is called ADN or Associate Degree in Nursing, which is actually not a full degree. If I were to compare that to something in India, it is probably going to be more like GNM equivalent. Like in India, you have GNM, and that is where what is important to understand, that unless you apply to a hospital who accepts you in a role which requires a managerial position, you would not qualify for an H1 in terms of the technical terms. So that's where you have to look at either applying for a position which requires a managerial role or an undergraduate degree. The chance of that, a healthcare system or a hospital agreeing to that where you have zero exposure to a US healthcare system is almost negligible, because obviously, I mean, think of this. Imagine coming to a US, somebody coming from outside and then supervising role where they have got no clue of healthcare system. So that is where what you can also do is the other option is you apply and get into a master's degree program, which then once you complete master's degree program also allows you what is called OPT or optional practical training, during which you can get the required experience as
No,
a
but TJ, before we go there, पैसे भी तो लगेंगे उसमें.
correct paise lagenge, but that is where a lot of health systems, we've had discussion with them, and we created a few scholarships where people can apply, and of course it's based on merit, and if you have prerequisites and you clear the interview and also the committee decides that yes, you qualify, then you can apply for those scholarships.
So I have this doubt here, which I'm sure most of these people will also be having. Uh, One is that a nurse in India has already cleared NCLEX and she applies for jobs and she gets the job. That is the most ideal situation, right? And the visa is sponsored by the hospital itself. That is the most ideal situation.
Correct.
But if that doesn't happen,
Right.
then you are saying that they can join masters this thing, and उसमें जो है masters में, if they don't get any scholarship, then I'm sure there must be a lot of money which must be involved. Though they may be able to recover that money, but still initially तो पैसे चाहिए ही है ना.
Right.
But there are opportunities available where there are scholarships for reasonably, not for top of the line, but top of the line तो naturally scholarship available उनके लिए हो ही जाएगी. But I mean, my question is, how difficult is it to get that scholarship?
Well, I would say if you apply for that and you have decent scores in your
NCLEX.
exams.
Okay.
Then also you have already cleared NCLEX. Then obviously there will be an interview, and once part of that interview you'll be graded depending upon how your responses are and how your communication skills are. And yes, I know people that have qualified for that scholarship and already gotten their visa, and they are actually traveling here for this component. So yes, there are people that are actually doing it at this point in time.
So when you say doing masters on scholarship is one alternative route, what is the advantage the nurses will get who do masters vis-a-vis those who don't do masters?
Well, first of all, the OPT component, and I think this is where a lot of people get confused in terms of, there is one component which is enhancing your professional knowledge, but the second component is also making sure that you have eligibility to work in US. Those two are not necessarily connected. Reason I just explained earlier too, that an H1 basically requires a undergraduate degree. Undergraduate is the equivalent of BSc degree in US. However, an RN role does not require a nurse to be certified or to be having a degree. So this is where, unless you are accepted for a role where that role requires a undergraduate degree, that means a hospital publishing that role, it could be supervisory charge nurse, or it could be a manager, administrative manager nursing, or nurse educator, only then you would fall in that zone of, that position requiring an undergraduate degree, and then you would be able to go in as a routine. However, with applying for a master's degree, not only you get the so-called optional practical training, which is a work visa automatically given once you complete any degree in US. It is automatically given. Uh, Not only you get that work permit, but also you use that time of that work permit to gain experience in US as, of course, ambulatory care nurse or as a registered nurse. And then once you gain that experience, now obviously you are in a much better role to be sponsored for an H1. So this is where you have to understand that it is one thing to be licensed, but it is other thing to get permission to work.
No, that's fine, DK, TJ. But I mean, let's talk practically nitty gritties जो हैं वो ये है कि if the person gets scholarship also, पहली बात तो first thing is that if a person does masters and then joins, I mean, उसके पास वीजा, उसको ओपीटी मिल गया तो वीजा उसके पास ऑलरेडी होगा, एंड उसको जॉब मिल गई आफ्टर मास्टर्स, तो वो सैलरी जो है is more than the person who has not done masters?
Yes, obviously, because once you've done master, you have an added degree. So when you are negotiating your salary with the hospital, you would get increment for your masters as well.
Right.
So that obviously will happen as well.
So second question which I have is, when you say scholarship, how does this scholarship translate? I mean, if the fee, I don't know what is the master's fee and how much is the scholarship you're getting. How can that fee payment be made easier so that it doesn't pinch?
Well, as of now, we are in discussion with the university that will offer masters. And yes, the payments are made over a period of time. So I'll give you a real-time example. Let's say a student ends up, or a nurse ends up joining for a Master's of Health Administration program, right? MHA. Okay, what I'm saying is, let's say somebody ends up joining the MHA program, right? The
Right.
fee of that MHA program is about 27 odd $1,000, and it has been brought lower for the reason that they already have a nursing degree, so they get a credit for courses that they have already done in their BSc nursing. That's why the fees is so low. It's barely $28,000. Now, obviously, that will be spread over a period of time. That means, consider that if they do that over a 1.5 years, then they pay as they go. They sign up for different courses every 3 months, and then that is spread out over a period of 18 months. So you'll end up paying typically every 3 months about $4,500.
Which is not less. So where is the scholarship component in this?
No, I think we are mixing up the two issues. Scholarship is a separate issue altogether. Once you're on scholarship, then you don't have to worry about your tuition. It's taken care of.
So what I'm asking you is the opportunity which we are discussing today. What is that opportunity? Let's come to that only.
That opportunity is if somebody applies, right, and is qualified and is accepted in the scholarship, then that person doesn't have to worry about their tuition. They joined, as of now, it is MHA course for this year. Next year, they have an option of joining also MSN, which is Master of Science in Nursing. And once they join that, thereafter they can pretty much be eligible to work, because the other component which I explained, that they will be eligible to work over here. So this way they can pursue their career in nursing in US.
No, but is there any this thing that they will be absorbed? Is there a because I remember you mentioning to me in our earlier discussion that there are opportunities for nurses and there are sure short opportunities for nurses and
That is correct. So once they are on scholarship, they will be absorbed in the same healthcare system that has sponsored them for scholarship.
so
So
these 20 nurses who are right now attending our this thing, what do they have to do to get that scholarship?
they have to basically apply, right? They have to contact us through
Okay.
your organization, and please do post a link. And once they contact us, they have to send us their resume, they have to send us their transcripts, and
Okay.
thereafter, we will arrange an interview for them, and then the final merit list is made out based on whatever their qualifications are.
So is there a this thing that how many people will get, how many scholarships are there, how many uh, is there any such number which you have in mind?
Well, it's a moving target. What happens is, the as I have more healthcare systems signing into the scholarships, the more keep adding. So initially I had only 8, but that expanded to 20, and now that has a potential of expanding to another 20, which will make it to 40. So it's all, still kind of work in progress. Things are adding up, but you at least are in the system and you have started the process. So let's say you don't make it for this cut, but you are still graded, and you are in a merit on that grading. So when the future candidates join in, every time we look at, let's say we get a new scholarship opened up, every time we'll take that merit list out again, and we'll kind of evaluate, and obviously this is strictly on merit.
So right now you have those 20 scholarships available with you, or they are there with you?
Yes, those 20 are available. And
So
some of
that
them are already filled up. So I can't say all 20 are available, but
so that's a very nice, that's a very good input. So I will not delay. I will not come between you and the audience. I think I'll straight away open the question answer session so that whatever they have. So, but before that, let me explain to them. So what as per Commander Baring, what we have understood is that you have to clear NCLEX and then you have to send your before that also you can send your CV and your transcripts, scores, etc. to uh, us, and then uh, your interview will be arranged, and based on your performance, you will be either selected for the uh, scholarship, or you will be given part scholarship, whatever it is, and then you have a choice whether you join that course, don't join that course. And once you get scholarship and you do decide to join, then of course they have tie-ups with certain hospitals who will be observing you. So it comes practically, if a person gets scholarship, then the person is doing masters at zero cost, zero tuition fee, of course. Uh, what about I mean, it may sound overboard, but I will still ask TJ, उनके रहने का खर्चा क्या होगा?
yeah, so Renaka Kharcha again depends, Manish, upon where they are doing their masters, where they are doing their rotations, and if that health system is sponsoring accommodation, then that accommodation is covered. If
Wow.
they are not
So,
sponsoring, then they'll
then
have to pay for their accommodation.
you have to find these programs only where it is sponsored. Why do you want our Indian nurses to spend money out of their pocket? Anyway, I will open the this thing question and answer session. But before that, Deepika Rana. Yeah, I will just open queue and yeah, Deepika, you can ask your question, please.
Hello, good evening, TJ sir and Manish sir.
Yeah.
Deepika this side. Sir, you have explained very well the process to get admission in master degree program through your scholarships. So, I would like to ask which all universities you cover in your programs and where it's all located.
Well, as of now, there are two universities that you join a program under. So either you will end up joining a Masters of Health Administration in University of Laverne, located in city of Laverne, which is outskirts of Los Angeles. It's about 30 minutes from Los Angeles downtown, and about 5 to 10 minutes drive from there is a University of basically Western University of Health Sciences in Pomona, and they have a College of Graduate Nursing. So you end up joining MSN, which is equivalent of MSc Nursing in India. And then there's also an option of joining MSN Nurse Practitioner. Now, I purposely wasn't bringing this word in yet, but one of the opportunities in US once you join, start looking at career in US is also that you could end up becoming a nurse practitioner. I'm sure most of you already know because there are few universities in India that have already started nurse practitioners. Nurse practitioners are nothing but physician extenders. So they become kind of a doctors where they prescribe medication, see patients independently, but still under the supervision of a doctor at any given time. So the option at Western University is also to join MSN Nurse Practitioner program. But again, that depends on your existing work experience and your qualifications. So just because you apply doesn't mean you automatically will be enrolled in a nurse practitioner program. However, if you look at it, let's say if somebody wants to come in this year, then MHA is an option. MSN, just because application cycle is closed out, so somebody can still apply into it, but the earliest they will start would be next year.
Okay. So you're
Yes.
saying MSN के लिए जो है वो next year से ही वो होगा. Okay.
बिल्कुल.
So yeah, Deepika, you got your this thing query answered?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from? I mean, where have you done your nursing from?
Sir, I did my nursing from the Army College of Nursing, Jalandhar. I was the first batch. In 2009, I have completed my degree. Then I did my post graduation in hospital administration from Pune Symbiosis, and human resource, post graduation in human resource from MIT Pune. So this side degree I do from the correspondence because I was serving in the military nursing for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now you have finished your MNS serving, right?
No, sir, I just quit the service because I need time to prepare for my NCLEX RN. I am looking forward to join the US. So, if in a very conceptual way, if I say it is very difficult to get a permission to give NCLEX exam.
Yes,
I
because
have applied since 8 months, and till now I didn't get any ATT. It's an authorization to give the test. And although I have cleared the education like education credential from CGFNS, you must be knowing.
yeah,
CGFNS is the yes agency which do the education credential evaluation of other countries. So
right.
they qualified that I am eligible to give the further exam, and my degree is equivalent to the Canadian BSc nursing or the USA nursing. But till now I did not get the ATT. I am waiting for that.
Deepika, there are two things. Number one, because you already have a MNS service, and also because you have, I mean, you graduated from, Army School of Nursing, I am pretty confident about your performance already. So, which means I can tell you this, that what you can do is apply into this scholarship program. I will have you basically, once you're it's a I'm pretty sure you'll clear the interview. But having spoken to you on this forum, I'm pretty positive about it. Once you are in the system, I will request for an exception based on your credentials, so that they will accept you in the program without even having done your NCLEX. You can finish your NCLEX once you are here, number one. Number two, what will also happen is once you're here, your NCLEX sponsorship, I would make that through a university. So
Wow.
obviously, then you get on a fast track to get your NCLEX cleared. And I have no doubts about your credentials. So that's why, Manish, can you send me Deepika's
Yeah,
coordinates
I will. I will.
of
Deepika,
the
you can, if this sounds good to you, which it should actually, and you can join our this thing, or you can. I hope it was fruitful for you to attend this webinar. I'll be very glad. But TJ, do you have a course for me also? I also want to do, some free of cost course, some scholarship, full scholarship, and रहने का खर्चा खाना पीना मैं खुद कर लूँगा.
I'm not sure you need any course. By now you are competent to
I
make.
would love to be there, yeah. I mean, if this is the kind of offer I have, I would love to
Yeah.
be there. I would also study.
No,
Do
reason I mentioned that for Deepika was as soon as she mentioned she had basically Army Nursing College school. Incidentally, Deepika, that is very close to where I'm from Jalandhar itself originally. So I know that place inside out. I have seen it growing over a number of years, and I am more than confident कि आप इस program में, in fact, I can confidently say आप accepted हैं. If you apply this week, I should be able to get you in US in the program by end of this month, because the one program scholarship जो मैंने बताया था ना कि जो ओरिजिनल 8 वाली थी, उसमें अभी भी 2 स्लॉट हैं जो पेंडिंग थे, जिसमें I'm more
what about
than
visa?
visa you can apply once you have your I-20. So I will have her I-20 issued by end of this week, and then she can apply for a visa. And then I have known students who applied into MHA program who was able to get the interview on a fast track uh, in about a week's time. So she should be able to get her visa, everything. Obviously, visa is not our prerogative; that is still upon embassy. But based on credentials and what she presents, she has a very strong chance of getting a visa. And once that happens, the actual program starts end of the month, 29th August. That's why I said ki you can be here on that program.
Kanchi. Suppose there is a delay. 1 month is too short a time. I mean, Deepika, आप ही पूछो अगर आपको कुछ होगा तो मैं तब. I was just thinking. Somebody tells me कि in 1 month you can be there. So there will be so many things which a person will be having at hand to tie up and all this that. So is it not possible that though she applies for visa, does everything, but for initial
Manish,
period there is some
Manish,
online kind of course?
she was in MNS. She's used to transfer order आ गए, अगले हफ्ते reporting है नए station में.
Okay, right. So
So actually, I am ready since 2020 December. I got retirement. So since then, I am foreign services. Like everything is prepared. Even I did my biometry is already done. So it is valid for 10 years.
oh, lovely,
If you know,
lovely.
biometry is mandatory. So everything is ready because I am just waiting for my NCLEX exam. I know I'll clear that exam in my first attempt. I had a very good score. Even I did IELTS twice, academic and journal, both with 7.58 band. So everything is completed from my end, even the financial, everything.
Right, Deepika, we will get
So
in touch with
it's
you. I think
not
everything is going
accepted.
good for you, right? So we will get in.
Thank you.
You can get in touch with us. I will give opportunity to others also now, right? Uh,
How many more we have from Army Nursing College?
Anyone else from Army Nursing College?
Can you just raise your hands?
Yeah. I can see quite a few.
Wow.
One, two, three, four, five, six of them, and few must have left also. Few of them, I think they were not from Army Nursing College. They were from South. Uh, we got some requests from South also. Okay, so all these people who have raised their hands, is they are raising their hands because they are from Army Nursing College, or they have the questions?
So we are from
So we
Nursing
are
College.
from Army College of Nursing.
Okay, right. So आपके
Okay.
पास कोई सवाल नहीं है पूछने के लिए?
And
So
one thing I will say, and I'm saying this in open forum, that the Army College of Nursing obviously gets added points uh, from my side for one simple reason, and that is just because I've interacted a lot with that students from there. I realize that yes, if they have that kind of education, then they already pre-qualify. So it's like I'm predisposed in terms of giving them that added uh, bonus point, as they say.
in any
Uh,
case, TJ, they are from Army Nursing College, so Army College of Nursing. So the very fact the word Army is there, you better give them preference over
right,
any other college. But yes, I mean that's on the lighter side. But yes, it's a special thing. Uh,
right.
so so I don't think there is any other question from anybody else. TJ, one parting gift you want to give anyone?
Yeah,
Something? Yeah.
I think one thing I would definitely like to see happen is the very fact that many students have joined today from Army College of Nursing. It tells me that yes, there is an interest. Obviously, they would like to learn a little more before they make up their mind. Also, there are certain life events. Somebody might be changing jobs, or somebody has other graduation or something going on. However, I think it may be a good idea, Manish, to create a separate group of this. And Deepika, if we can request you to be part of that group so that you can also not only guide, since you're from the first batch, so obviously, you have been pioneer for this group. So not only you can show others the pathway, but also you should share your experience with them in terms of how it was, or how the journey was in terms of
So
whenever you are there.
one question: all these people who have raised their hands, they are currently in Army College of Nursing, or you have already passed out?
So
Okay,
few are currently studying and few have passed out and currently pursuing their jobs.
okay, right. Okay, so that's very nice. So TJ, anything else you want to say?
No, I think it definitely is a great audience that we had today. Uh, Very, very enthusiastic.
Okay,
Uh,
TJ, I have one question which nobody has asked actually, which I was expecting they will ask. Okay, they have done this thing. Suppose they have done NCLEX, or they go there and then do NCLEX. I mean, the option which you gave to Deepika. Depending on the merit, they may get this option. And then they do whether masters in health administration, or some master course. Okay, uh, on scholarship. So after that, what about absorption?
yeah, the healthcare system who's giving them scholarship obviously has a place laid out for them, so they'll automatically get absorbed in that healthcare system, and then they would continue as a nurse,
So
nursing as a.
that does tell me that USA has got a lot of, demand for nurses.
Oh,
In that.
absolutely. Absolutely. US definitely has, just like any other country, especially post-COVID. What had happened was there was a lot of burnout that happened in COVID. So a lot of nurses ended up getting retiring earlier than what was planned. So that's why there is a big demand that has been created, and that's where these opportunities arise. But I think I'm also very sure that some or most of you, when you learn more professionalism in nursing, you will pass that on back to India as well. So it's all about growing the profession per se. It doesn't matter what part of the world. And again, nursing is very noble profession. I think, uh, like it or not, but fact is, Manish, you, I, and pretty much most of us
Yeah,
will
yeah, I
say
agree.
this sometime in future. So maybe you can say we all have vested interest in ensuring that this profession grows.
Right, definitely. And that's how this talk was also planned, because everybody talks about doctors, engineers, etc., etc., computer engineers. There's hardly any talk which is being organized for career growth for nurses.
So
And
Manish, since we still have 7 more minutes, I'm going to ask the forum if there is any other question, and then maybe I would ask a couple of questions if that's okay with you,
sure,
Manish.
sure, sure.
Alright, so किसी और को कोई सवाल अगर पूछना हो तो जरूर पूछिएगा. Don't be hesitant. There is nothing. There's no question which is so called कि मैं पूछूं तो लोग हंसेंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. The very fact that question arises in your mind, you should ask. So what I wanted to know is basically how many of audience today would be interested in psychiatric nursing. I was just trying to evaluate psychiatric nursing. Can you just raise hands, please?
Yeah, three have raised hands.
Okay,
Four.
4. Okay, good. All right. Reason I mentioned is that psychiatric nursing is one of the, or mental health is one of the great programs which is growing, and very recently we've been working on basically getting a grant from the California government to promote this. So that's why I was trying to see what is the typical interest level. My next question is, how many of you know about nurse practitioner?
Nurse
नर्स
practitioner.
हाँ जी, नर्स प्रैक्टिशनर क्या होता है?
So three of them they know. Four of them they know what is a nurse. Five.
Excellent. So basically, I think that means that is a future of nursing in terms of career growth. आप
अच्छा.
अगर कहें कि मैंने एम्बुलेटरी केयर नर्सिंग आज ज्वाइन करी और 20 साल के बाद भी मैं फ्लोर पर ही हूँ, or maybe I will become an administrator and become nursing superintendent. How many nursing superintendent can you have in a hospital? Not more than one. So the pyramid curve there, or pyramid structure there, really is very steep. So it's as good as becoming, like, as you know, Manish, out of 7 or 8 courses, only one can think of becoming a chief, army chief or naval chief. So it is, that's where the nursing superintendent is one of the career pinnacles. But at the same time, if you look at nurse practitioner as a track, then not only you become, a nurse practitioner and enjoy vertical growth. Manish, anybody, I would like to see, does anybody have any idea कि nurse practitioner की average salary US में कितनी होती है?
मैं ना ये अभी आपसे सवाल पूछने वाला था टीजे कि पहले तो आप ये बताओ कि एक नॉर्मल नर्स जो हम जिस रूट से बोल रहे हैं उस रूट से if the nurse comes on a scholarship and then she gets observed also, उसकी एवरेज सैलरी कितनी होगी?
Again, it varies, depends upon their experience. Obviously, somebody might be just freshly graduated, and straight away into the program.
So let's say somebody having 4-5 years of experience, average.
Uh-huh. 4-5 years of experience, average can expect a salary of about $75,000. Uh, Pretty much in that range, I would say. You can expect that kind of salary. So that's about
Impressive.
55-60 lakhs uh, Indian rupee equivalent, depending upon what the conversion rate is. But those are the salaries basically as a uh, starting position with 4-5 years of experience. However,
And what about the nurse practitioner?
I'm glad you asked. So that average salary in US is about 115 to $120,000, which
100?
$120,000, 115 to 120. That's an average. But again, depending upon the city, I know a lot of nurse practitioners who also make $150,000. So essentially, now you're touching a crore year equivalent figure as a nurse practitioner, and that's why I always uh, encourage people to study more, to learn more, so that they can have a career growth. Forget about the money. Money, of course, you and I are just joking, Manish. But I think what is really important is also to get professional satisfaction as you go along.
But
And I
DJ, आपने बताया नहीं ये out of the 16-17 nurses who are there with us today, I mean at that time, पहले तो 30-30 odd teams people have left. पर 16 में से सिर्फ 2 या 3 ने बोला था कि उनको पता है कि नर्स प्रैक्टिशनर है क्या.
Right. So nurse practitioner basically is what happens is as you graduate in nursing, so you have to have minimum number of required hours practice as a nurse. You are expected to then start becoming closer to physician extenders. That means you are supposed to learn more about medicine. And there it is basically called the intermediary or physician extenders. So basically, instead of a full-time physician, that hospital will end up paying, let's say, $300,000 a year. They said that let's bring some of the nurses up to the level, and it's a mid-level caregiver. That's what they are called. So that is where there's an opportunity for people to learn and actually become nurse practitioner. Now that has started in India too. I know Baba Farid is offering that program, and I also know that we are helping out a couple of universities in growing that program in India through College of Graduate Nursing, Western University. And those were the trips that when Manish we had met both Dr. Wilson and Dr. Lopez, who was traveling along. लेकिन नर्स प्रैक्टिशनर एक अच्छा करियर है, अच्छा फ्यूचर है. So that's where we are. Anybody else? Any other question? I think we are almost out of time.
Teacher, I'm also getting on there's 2-3 colleges from south, which they say that they've got the notification. I mean this intimation about this webinar late. So I think we will be doing it again very soon. So yeah, sorry, you were asking something. Okay, there are questions. What is the basic salary as a staff nurse? Priyanka is asking.
This salary as a staff nurse is typical 60,000 starting out of college. That is 60 to $75,000 depending on which city you are in. So obviously, a city like Los Angeles will have a higher salary than a remote city in Missouri like St. Louis. So उसके basis पे, but it's good to assume कि आप I mean lower figure is definitely $60,000. which translates to nearly about 50 lakhs a year. I hope
Okay.
that answers your question. Who had asked that question?
Priyanka.
ओके प्रियंका, आप कहाँ से हैं, कौन से कॉलेज से हैं और अभी क्या कर रहे हैं? तो अदर देन आर्मी नर्सिंग कॉलेज कौन है वो हाथ खड़े करें.
No, I think people who are left are Army Nursing College because you got into a lot of theoretical. बाद में जरा हमने एकदम pointed question पूछने शुरू कर दिए कि आप ये बताओ कि आपके पास है क्या. Right? So
Right.
there were around 30 people. So now they are around 15, 16. Right.
Yeah,
So
I mean, their principal, Miss Maheshwari, she's obviously a great person, been definitely guiding everybody. And I am pretty sure that they will do well regardless wherever they go. चाहे वो US में हो, इंडिया में हो, जहां भी जाएंगे अच्छा ही करेंगे.
yeah, sure, they will. The recording of this will also be uploaded on the YouTube channel. Channel का नाम भी Value Talks ही है. तो इसलिए आप इसको दोबारा भी देख सकते हैं. And we'll be whatever queries you have, you can. We will request Deepika to form a group of all these participants. And Deepika, in case they have a query, you can lead it because you are from the first batch and you are the topper. Right. So, TJ, all that is left for me is to thank you. Thank you so much. And I am still looking for an answer. Ki you have a post for me also. Unfortunately, at this age in service, I would not be able to join as a nurse. So, otherwise, the offer was it's quite mouth-watering. So, if you have something else for me, I don't want a salary also. You just give me a course and रहने का वो कर दो scholarship पे. I am happy with that also.
Well, since this program is talking about nurses, how about we enroll you as a nurse educator? You already doing it.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
thank you
So,
everybody for joining the program. It was wonderful chatting up with
thank
all.
you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you, sir.
You gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on